Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today it's all about the potatoes. Your potatoes are trying to be the best at dealing with specific encounters like the Furious Fryer. But don't worry, because if you're not the best, you get to enact your selected potatoes ability. Hot Potato is a quick card game for 2 to 4 players, plays in 15 minutes for ages 10 and up, and published by Jolly Dutch Productions. It's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. At the beginning of the game, each player gets to take a deck of cards of the color of their choosing. Now, each of these decks are identical, so all the players will start with the same cards in their hand. Now, each of these cards has some adorable art like Appealing Potato, Couch Potato, Rambo Tato, Sweet Potato, Robo Tato. And so this is what they do. Now, all of these are going to have different abilities, but they also have an icon that's associated. And these will be important because each round you're going to deal with an encounter, and from top to bottom it's showing you the icon of the potato that best handles this encounter. And so players are going to be playing cards out of their hand and trying to be the closest to the top in order to win a point for beating that encounter, and the first one to 10 points wins. Now the game is played over multiple rounds until a player has 10 points and wins the game. The first thing players will do is all of them look at the cards in their hand and they'll select one to play face down. Then all the players simultaneously reveal the potato that they've played this round. Then you're going to deal with an encounter. You're going to flip up the top encounter card over, and in this case it's a Wicked Weed, and we look at the top, and this is the potato that could beat the encounter first. And we look to see if any of the potatoes have that icon, and this one does. So this Couch Potato is the one that dealt with that encounter, so they're going to get a point. But all the other ones will get to enact their ability. Now, if this card wasn't here and it was some other card, you'd keep going down until you found the one that was in the highest place. Also, if there's more than one player that played the same one that was the highest one available, both of those players would score a point. Now, when you score the point, you don't get to the enact ability. Only the players that don't score will. Now, after you play your potato cards, they're creating a discard pile for you, and you don't get to pick them up until you've played your last potato card. Then you get your full hand back. So let's look at the abilities. This Appealing Potato gets to look at the top 3 cards secretly of the encounter deck, and then they get to shuffle them and put it on top, but they get a good idea. So let's check this out. This should be secret normally. We have the Sneaky Slicer, the Slimy Slug, the Vicious Virus. They would see which ones are on top, and they would kind of remember which are the best cards possibly to play, because it's going to be randomized, because these will get shuffled, and then they're placed on the top, but they have some information there. Now the Rambo Tato, it gets to move the Hot Potato. Now the Hot Potato is not good. You don't want it, because whoever this is in front of, they cannot use the effect of their card. Now they can still score if they're the highest up on the encounter, but they can't use their effect until this card is gone. And the only way to move this is by using the Rambo Tato card. Now if more than one player played this, everyone has to agree where to move it to, or else it gets moved to the center of the table. So it starts in the middle of the table, but as it gets moved, it's going to be moved from player to player and things like that. Now, Sweet Potato says if you win the next round, you'll gain 2 points instead of 1. So everyone essentially puts this card sort of in front of them, face up, and then you start a new round by players playing face down, and then you flip over another encounter card, and this just continues until one player has 10 points. Now let's take a look at some of these other abilities. Now let's look at the Robo Tato. If you have this, the next round, you and only you are protected against any effects from other players. If the Hot Potato card is directed towards you, it goes to the middle of the table instead. Essentially, it protects you. Now this one here, after players have revealed their cards, but before the next encounter is revealed, you get to play an additional card. Now this gives you more chances to possibly win, and if either of these two help you win and discard both cards. But if you don't win, you get to enact the ability of the second card that you played. And here's a look at all of the encounter cards, so you can check out all the art and all the interesting names that they are for them. Well, there you have Hot Potato, and as I showed in the overview, it's a light family card game where you're trying to outwit your opponents with your potatoes' abilities and how they handle specific encounters. Now, if you'd like to see the final art, components, and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me in the description of this video, and it will take you directly to the project page on Kickstarter, and I'm sure that Jolly Dutch Productions would love your support.